So this is session 34 of Ultraviolet Grasslands. Whew, getting there. Let's see what happened last week. Last week we crossed the sky bridge, the invisible razor sharp thin bridge across the Sky River, and pitched some dream work to the ghost troll on the bridge. It went well. Listened to some radiation ghosts who said to stay away from these domes and avoided those. Crossed the Teal River and dealt with a dire beaver and grabbed a pelt from there. Crossed the Garnet Ford. Um, and made it to the Rose Towers, the three big dry coral towers that are topped with glowing orbs and mechanical birds and whatnot. There were a bunch of mechanical augmented people who were doing this uh, week long ritual, kind of pantomiming the rise and fall of their civilization. You got them in the middle, so you just caught the fall of it. And after they all actually fell apart, a opening opened up on the big pseudo marble slab that the towers are on, and a giant lady woke up out of it.
Oh yeah.
15-foot tall, crimson forearmed fusion
Mhm.
lady who just opened their eyes and looked at Adoron and said, "Why are you here?" Um,
I think we all know what's happening here.
yeah. There were some creepy spider fish bones who scavenged the fallen guys. Phaedrid getting the prelapse there and metonymic poetry thing. Um, got some stuff with the wagon uh, skills and stuff. But yeah, that's about that. Anything else y'all recall from that? It's a
No,
skelly.
not really. I think that pretty much. I think that was a pretty good recap of last week. I don't remember anything else really.
Cool.
Hey, Mark, welcome.
Hey, we got one.
I am here.
Awesome. And that is where we left it the morning of the last day of the ritual with our Lady of Rebuilding waking up. Um, what would you like to do?
Well, um, Adoron, I don't know if we were standing. I don't remember what our circumstance was. I
You're
think
kind of
we were,
like she's like came out of like a
yeah,
depression in
right.
the ivory thing and kind of like pulled herself out of it and
Okay.
kind of around.
So Adoron will look at her and say, "Hello. Are you referring to me or to my companion?"
Are Who are you? You're not part
I
of the
am,
ritual, or else you would be gone.
no, we are not part of the ritual. Were you speaking to us in general or to me in specific?
You're the first one that caught my attention. Are you new supplicants? Why are you
We are
here?
here for commerce.
There's nothing to buy or sell here.
Commerce is something that helps one expands one's mind. We believe that it's possible that we might be able to expand your understanding of the situation.
A smile crosses her face. And yeah, she is interested in how you are going to expand her understanding of the situation.
I have been working with one who is very sad.
He looks at the other, I mean, the rest of the caravan, I guess. All of y'all. Which one?
Oh, she is not here. I am her representative. She is desiring to either find or purchase some tools to help her reduce her sadness.
Again, there's no marketplace here. You have a day before the rebuilding begins. You're welcome to stay. I'm afraid it's not very interesting.
My
If oh, go on.
okay, go ahead. No, go ahead.
So like I think Phaedra has been there watching this conversation, and he said, if I may be so bold as to ask, um, your recreation and retelling of the story is fascinating. I'm curious as to you appear to be repeating it over and over again every few days. May I is it could I inquire as to the purpose of this endeavor?
We are merely playing out a story that has played out time and time again before us. It's a pageant. I I am not here for the entire thing, so if you would care to watch, you're welcome to. It has no more meaning than any other story.
So you're just replaying this pageant over and over again
Yes,
for presumably years,
centuries at
centuries.
least.
Fascinating.
How long have
And
you been
there's
watching?
just a few days I think we happened to come across here, I think about out of character. It was like what, 3 days ago?
Yeah, it's like 3 days ago.
Yeah. We came across here 3 days ago, not knowing much about this place. From afar it looked like a city, and we came here looking to trade and interacted with the people. Um, and we're just kind of fascinated by this whole pageant that they're putting on.
So this is the first time we've met.
Yes, this is the first time we've met.
And the rest of
I'm
you?
so I'm sorry, and I'm sorry. I don't believe I don't believe we caught your name.
I don't have a name, only a title. They call me the Rebuilder.
I my eyes widen and I nod.
Ah, you have spent much time with our friend Adoron, we hear.
Who's Adoron?
This is Adoron?
Hello.
You said this is the first time we've met.
Modan is referring to a different spiritual facet of the Rebuilder.
And her four eyes go a little wide. And what
Madam, are you a manifestation of the Rebuilder, or are you playing that role?
they call me the Rebuilder. But make a charisma roll. Let's see how
Sure. What is my charisma these days? Oh, need to bring the I need to bring the die roller up. Where is that? My charisma is, I believe, two. Yes, it is. So I'm gonna roll a d20, and I'm gonna add 2. I got a 7 on the die, plus 2 is a 9.
Um, she just says, "That is what I am called. I did not name myself, but I am known."
All right. Phaedrid nods, concluding that this is perhaps the someone who is basically playing the role of the actual rebuilder in much the same way that all of these people are playing the roles of the people who had lived there. No.
Have you always been playing this role?
Are you asking if I've always been the rebuilder?
I think that is
I'm
the
not
gist.
sure.
I think that
Possibly.
is the. I think that's the gist of the question. Did you do something?
Everyone is born at some point.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to look into the noosphere.
Yeah.
But that's the time. Okay,
Let's
figure it.
have a aura check.
Yeah,
Um, plus your plus the monolith skill, I think.
monolith skill. Okay.
Yeah.
Just skills so +3.
Can't
Nothing.
imagine that'll come into play too many times.
Okay. Let's see what we got. So that's a 13.
13. Fantastic. Make sure everyone gets their hero dice.
Oh, thank you.
Might need them. Um,
You shut your
when you pop into the noosphere, you do not see her. What you see is what looks to be like a giant, like a Komodo dragon with 8 legs. Um, and it is staring directly back at you, and it looks pissed.
I wave.
Um, it is going to snap at you, unless you want to throw a hero die on that aura roll.
Um, I actually will throw a hero die because hmm, yeah, Adoron's gonna uh I sort of don't want to retcon what I just did. I'm going to step back out of the way before the antagonism gets quite so intense.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm going to throw a hero die.
Great.
We will. Now, is there any point in me rolling a hero die?
As long as it's over a 13, that'll be good.
Oh, well, I'm already at 13, right?
Yeah.
So you just want more than 13.
Yeah, just more than 13.
Okay. So 18.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, it looks at you. It is upset. But instead of angry, it actually looks a little bit frightened. And additionally, it is kind of looking past you a little bit.
Yeah.
How is Skelly reacting to all this?
I think so not knowing what's going on in the noosphere, I think Skelly is just like you keep maybe the direct approach is the best here. You keep saying that they call you the rebuilder. Does that mean you are not in actuality the rebuilder?
I was drawn into this charade, and they recognized me.
So you don't particularly want to be part of this, then it sounds like.
I would prefer to have been left to my own devices, but
You were drawn into it by who? By the rebuilder?
have you visited the Three Sticks? Have you visited the Soul Mill?
No, we have not been to the actual Three Sticks.
I cannot recommend the experience.
Oh.
It is a place of great power, and those who are unaccustomed to dealing with those particular manifestations may find themselves embroiled in things that they do not wish to be a part of. I would well, it's unpleasant. But every
You said
day
it's just
or every week I have a day to myself to well, it doesn't make up for it, but
Is there a way that we can help you?
if you stopped them from rebuilding, I don't imagine how you would be able to do that if I couldn't.
the people referred to she who rebuilt them. I take it that's not actually you?
In the story, it is me.
Well, I got that, but something is actually rebuilding them.
The rising prism of perception rebuilds them from my flesh, and at the end of the week, rebuilds me.
That sounds horrific. Forgive me for saying that.
The body is not all there is, as I'm sure. Like looks at Adoron. Sure, you understand.
So there is a further entity which is
Beneath,
presumably below these towers.
deep beneath.
If we could
But you,
free you and give you a new body, would that be of value?
Why a new body? What's wrong with this one?
Hmm. I know who it used to belong to.
She's gone.
Oh no, she's not.
She's a shadow of what she was. Her soul was gone when I took this body.
Yes,
She has no use
I'm
anymore.
trying to find that too. Do you know where that is?
No. Regardless, this is my body now.
Would you be willing to allow us to take samples of it?
I look. I think Phaedrid shoots Adoron a very quizzical look. He's not really trying to hide.
Ultimately, I don't imagine I could stop you. Even if I did stop you now, you would merely be able to take them from, she like her forearms gesture to the bodies that were dragged away, I guess. What purpose?
I am trying to put her back together, and she needs a body at some point.
In the
And
same way that we would like to help you, Adoron has been trying to help her. We do not believe that she is, as people believe, beyond reach and beyond help. Same as we don't believe that of you.
And to be fair, we've gotten pretty good at building bodies.
It's true. Why Adoron's old body was completely obliterated in an accident, and we've made him a new one.
Twice, actually. Oh, no, wait. The first one already came pre-built, but we still managed to transfer their soul. But the second one, this one right here, we did from scratch.
We did indeed.
We're still working on it. It's not complete yet.
Not to denigrate your abilities, but
Well, fair. It's our first one.
a soul of my magnitude cannot be contained in any body.
It is true.
Fair enough.
And if I were to attempt to leave again, the soul mill would take me before I got too far.
So we would need to deal with the soul mill to give you freedom.
Why do you think you would be able to deal with it when I am not?
My best answer is that we are innocent and naive and often seem to cause lots of trouble. So I think that possibly we could disrupt things.
Also,
and corporeal.
All of us, each one of us, including we all have different minds, different haka, different skill sets. Sometimes even the most insignificant one of us can see perspective that perhaps none others have yet seen, which is why we are all stronger together.
So what is your proposal?
If you could help us strategize what we need to do to get you free, then you could help us figure out how to get a body for the rebuilder.
You could render the soul mill inoperable. You would free not only me, but who knows how many others.
Merely the title, the soul mill, does not sound good.
Oh, the soul mill is not its title. It is what it is. Its title is the painless devourer of Ka.
I mean, that's even worse, to be fair.
Yes, that's pretty. I've heard of soul mills. I've not encountered one, and I think that's probably a good thing.
I assure you it is. Having your body torn apart and rebuilt on a weekly basis is much preferable, although it is called painless. It is not.
I am familiar with that, although not on such a frequent basis.
So we have the day before I am rebuilt.
Is there any value in trying to investigate this area?
You want to... Which area?
Well, it sounds to me like the soul mill is a little distance away, but right here is the area that keeps you trapped in the pattern. Is that correct?
It is this entire area. And she points south across the lake. That is where the soul mill is. This entire region is fouled by it.
So this is a manifestation of the soul mill's effect.
To be honest, I don't know what beyond the rising prism is causing this. Perhaps it was just programmed to create entertainment for whoever built it. We've just become caught up in it.
I see.
And honestly, I've never seen many people, or at least I don't remember, being present at the beginning of the cycle. I wonder if anyone who has been incorporated into the watched in the previous week.
That is an important note to understand.
I am curious to watch the whole proceeding, but if that is dangerous, perhaps we should observe from a distance.
Well, if my experience is indicative, it is painful and unpleasant, and you will return unless you are rebuilt into my next form. Again, I only experienced a small part of it.
So you are recommending us not watch the not watch the first day of this ritual.
I cannot advise you either way. And she'll go to the edge of the platform, like that's facing the lake, and just like she looks like when she kind of rose, she was like very presentational and like addressing you as if you were people like devotees or audience or something. But after talking for a while, she's definitely like her body language has relaxed some, and she just kind of like walks to the edge of the platform, and just like dangles her legs over and looks out over the lake. The like spider bones like don't come near, but it seems like this is her me time. She gets to just like hang out and experience the swamp for a day before everything starts up again.
So Adoron will go and sit down next to her and prepare some tea and offer it to her.
Oh, yeah.
And they will say, I am sorry for your pain.
Thank you.
If I could ask a unrelated and perhaps practical question, and I gesture toward the towers. What, if anything, is in those towers?
In the towers themselves?
Yes.
I mean, they are dressing, I believe. There's the lights above, but the only thing within is inside this ivory platform. The towers themselves are, I mean, they're maybe like 8 feet across, but very tall.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was thinking they were much. I didn't realize they were. I didn't realize they were that narrow.
They're very tall and thin. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was thinking they'd be, like 20 or 30 feet tall and tapering, but no.
They're like 8 feet across and like 100 feet tall, probably.
Okay. And they're just standing there with no like guy wires or anything like that.
They're like kind of crinkly too.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's
and there's
dryland coral. It's sturdy, probably.
Okay, got it. But so there's no like there's no like opening to go inside them.
Not in the towers themselves. And in fact, if you are looking, it looks like you've seen dryland coral in your travels plenty of times, and
never this tall though.
It's always like weather worn. This looks fresh, like it was just built.
Interesting.
This is a very beautiful place. At least you have a good view.
It is.
Would you like to hear news of the world?
I don't imagine any of it would be meaningful to me. And I don't know how much I would remember.
Possibly true. Adoron pulls out some cakes and gives her some cakes.
Tiny little cakes.
Yes, tiny little cakes.
She is 15 feet tall.
She is 15 feet tall.
Are all these little creatures also souls that have been caught up in this, or what's up with them?
I imagine they must have souls. I don't know what happens to those souls in between. Like now, they must be about somewhere. Or maybe new ones are attached each time when they're reborn. I'm I normally only feed on souls in my and like looks at Adoron like in my original form, much as a shark would eat small fish as it swam around, not out of malice, just out of hunger.
I understand.
This body is limiting, however, and any loose souls in the area are milled.
Is there any advice you could give us for trying to approach the soul mill?
Don't.
Beyond that, which you've made clear, yes.
It is
Soul mills are inherently dangerous because, well, they process souls into other
power,
magical energies, other magical energies.
and that power is stored in a battery of sorts. I don't know that it is being used for anything, and it doesn't seem to be have an upper limit of capacity that I know of.
That's fascinating. If one could conceivably gain control of those things, that would be a vast power source.
And for you in particular, a vast wealth, if that is what you're seeking.
Well, I mean, to a certain extent. I mean, I see ourselves as primarily explorers,
Well,
but part of the I'm happy to lay my cards on the table. We are from the rainbow. I am from the Rainbow Lands, and we all I am here exploring and hoping to open up new markets for trade.
hmm.
But we're also learning about the world, learning about the people and the things that are out here, and we're trying to understand what we find. This pageant, as it were, that you are a part of, I have found fascinating. Um, Also, it seems that well, perhaps you again, if you don't mind conversing about other topics,
I have all
um,
day.
fair enough. I have been searching for um, I've been searching for a magical incantation. Um, the incantation is called Pelipasarian metonymic poetry. My observation of this pageant indicates that I'm gaining some understanding of what this might be. I was wondering if you might know more of it, and if you did, if you would be willing to share that information.
I'm afraid I only know my part of it, which is to be consumed. I am not a wizard of any kind.
Okay. I was hoping that, at least from afar, the because we have a map of the region, and when we saw the Rose Towers, I had made an apparently erroneous assumption that a wizard or a sorcerer lived there because wizards and sorcerers are known to live in towers.
No, just the factory beneath.
All right. Well, thank you for indulging my question at the very least.
But again, if you are seeking wealth, and if you could tame it, that would be another source. But it has been centuries, and no one has.
Are you referring to the Soul Mill and Battery, or are you referring to the autofac that is? Or I'm sorry.
Rising Prism of Perception.
Rising Prism is a factory below.
Yes, it maintains the towers, the pageant, the platform, and little else, it appears.
Right. Are you aware? Does it have any other purpose other than to perform this pageant on repeat ad infinitum?
As far as I can tell, it is the only purpose.
So really, disrupting one of these things will likely disrupt the other.
Indeed. I spent the first several decades attempting to tear it apart with my own hands. I failed.
So brute force is out, is what I'm hearing.
It is greater than I am.
How does one access the autofac below? Is there an access panel? Are there passages in the, Phaedrich gestures toward the towers. Are there is there a passage down in one of the towers? Or is there?
And she kind of gestures to the depression that she came out of. Says, this is where I arrive, and when I attempted the first many times, I was able to pull it open. I could do the same for you if you wish, but I don't know that you would survive below. No, not to offend, but as it is greater than I am greater than you.
Perhaps we do have resources at our disposal, but I'm not going to question that assumption. I'm not going to question that assertion of yours. We have no quarrel, and I don't. We have no quarrel, and I don't see that a display of power would be particularly useful.
I wonder if we could reprogram it, though.
That is beyond me.
Between all of us, we are somewhat familiar with biomechanical engineering.
Well, maybe you have been sent by Providence then.
And one of us is already dead, so I mean, I'm not too sure what more can be done.
Well, there is that, Skelly. There is that.
As a word of caution, Skelly, you still have a soul. It can be injured. I learned this the hard way.
I guess out of out of character. So what does Phaedra know of autofac? I mean, we've encountered that one insane autofac that was near Behemoth Shell.
The very broken one.
The very, very broken one.
Oh yeah, and the other one that was wandering around by the
oh yeah, we found the other horribly
also,
malfunctioning
but slightly
one.
less broken one. Yes.
That one was slightly less. It's a kitty.
Yeah, this is
so autofacs are
I can't
they're artificial organisms or organic machines that are created long ago, not long ago, perhaps by combining wizards and autonomous vehicles in an unholy union. People speculate they were what's designed to produce useful commodities, and now most are leaking menaces, spewing fumes as they ravage the land that turn out dangerous and mostly useless artifact oozes. So most likely it is something that was created and either got stuck here or was embedded here to as the woman rebuilder says, to create some sort of entertainment for whoever built it. They are, biomechanical. They're not, biomagical. Perhaps they're not. They're not vomes, so they're not like insane infection machines, but they are large organisms.
Okay. But it would conceivably be possible to like find its programming or at least convince it to like do something else, or
Possibly,
would that?
yeah.
Okay. Whew, interesting. So I guess the question for the other players is, are we interested in investigating this particular artifact further, or is this one of those things where we might want to like come back to later?
So Adoron will ask the astral lizard, would you, if we could reprogram it, would you like us to do that, or are you content to wait until we perhaps have more skill?
I would prefer not to be torn apart weekly. So if you believe that you have the skill to do so, that would at least free me to think for more than a day.
We do. So we have worked with another autofac and have at least established some functional communication with it. So we are not completely unfamiliar with some of the challenges. This, of course, is no guarantee that we are up to the task, but it is possible we could, we at least have a chance of learning about the situation and possibly changing it.
In that case, and she gets up, and it seems that the depression she was in is much shallower than when she rose, as if like the ivory was being kind of like rebuilt on a molecular level as the day has gone by. And she like just kind of like digs her fingers into the stone of the platform, and like you can see her skin is like it's not porcelain and it's not flesh, but it's some like very very hard but slightly pliable material, and you can see it kind of cracking as she digs her fingers into the platform. And something like, it's not blood that comes out, it's like a pale yellow that kind of seeps around her fingers where they crack. But she is able to get purchase in there, and after several minutes of like straining, is able to like pull, like tear out some of the blocks, like from it. They're not blocks set there, but like pull out some of the
Chunks of
stone,
yeah.
being able to break it. And it is like a 10-foot thick slab that she is
Wow.
digging into. But below, I think when it finally opens, there's like a blast of heat, like a wet heat. Not dangerous, but it is clearly like there's something going on down there. Something like it's like when you cut open someone's stomach, that kind of like
right. Okay. Who would like to attend and who would like to move off the platform for the next cycle?
Well, if there's a way in, and if there's a possibility we can communicate with this thing, I think we should give it a try. We'll need to be very careful. we'll need to be very careful indeed to not disturb anything and to merely look for now. Hopefully, we'll be able to find some kind of control room rather than brute force trying to rip it apart.
I
Um,
I believe we will fail if we try to brute force it. I believe that
I think you are absolutely right. If our new friend was unable to, after dozens or scores or hundreds of attempts, we certainly aren't going to be able to.
no.
But if we could communicate with it and learn what it wants and perhaps convince it to do something else, or to even perhaps produce some kind of useful commodity, that might be to every. And I look at our friend, the quote rebuilder unquote. Um, that might be to everyone's advantage. I'm willing to give it a try. How about the rest of you? Because I think if we're going to do this, I think we're going to need all of our skills put together.
Let's go.
I, for one, am
I'm
not going to leave my posse.
Alvanegra says, well, I realize you might need my skills down below, so I'm willing to go too. Question is, how many friends are going?
I'm thinking it might just want to be the 5 primary characters and leave the rest of the caravan, leave the rest of our retinue by the caravan. Perhaps suggest moving it a little farther away, just in case we don't get out before before the next phase. And she seemed to indicate that being here when it starts might not be a great idea.
Right.
I will advise that will probably put you in the reach of the little spiderfish vomes. They seem to avoid the platform, but are right at home in the area beneath.
Okay.
Right.
So if they move off, they'll be in. So if our caravan moves out a little farther, they'll be subject to the spiderfish vomes attacks.
And they're not huge and terrible, but they are numerous and hungry.
Got it.
They're used to pulling down meals that don't struggle. So,
well, or we could tell the caravan, or we could tell our friends to move the caravan, farther away.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
and then we would catch up with them. Maybe I don't know, maybe leave our if we want to leave Skelly's auto wagon here, we could conceivably use that to drive back to catch up with the rest of the caravan.
Yeah, you want to send them along the road, or where's the nearest?
Is that cool with the other players? I don't want to make that executive. I mean, I'm not in a position to make that executive decision.
Yeah, no, I mean that seems like that makes sense. Is Grey Glow? Where is the nearest community?
The nearest community is probably Jade Baobab, which is probably 4 days travel.
Oh yeah, that's
Four
quite a
days.
ways
Yeah,
away.
maybe if we just have them head on down the road for maybe if we have the caravan maybe head on down the road until they find a decent place that seems safe enough to circle the wagons.
Yeah, and
that's near the road.
so it's not an unusual situation.
And the other thing, I mean, I'm just going to put it out there. The other thing is, there's a strong possibility if we go down into the autofac, we're going to find some valuables that we'll be able to take out with us.
So, who should we nominate in the caravan to be the leader and the sub leader in our absence? Because the people in the caravan have some very different personalities. Okay, Autocar. Is Autocar coming with us, or is Autocar going to lead the caravan?
That's up to you.
I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think Otokar is going to lead the caravan, but I'm thinking maybe Otokar should stay with the caravan to
It's
sort
always
of
good
defend it
muzzle.
from any.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Otokar is the best fighter of our caravan. That's not one of us. So I think he should stay with the caravan to protect it if it encounters any if like we roll poorly and they encounter bandits or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
All right,
Dolce
but
is
that leaves
very
us
eager to
more.
help.
That does leave
Sorry.
us more vulnerable without our
Aware, aware of that.
autocar.
So I'm just trying to, so we've got the Moon Witch, we've got the um animal groomer, we've got
We've got the adventurer and we've got Dolce, and I'm not exactly sure what Dolce's role was.
Dolce's role is to be
Enthusiastic.
Yes, he's enthusiastic. He's the wide-eyed newbie.
Perpetually.
Yes. So should we
Yeah,
put
I'm thinking either Yasa the Moon Witch or I think we'll leave either the Moon Witch or Centena in charge.
yeah. Now, one comment I will make is that Centena also has a criminal background.
Let's leave the Moon Witch in charge.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Great.
So I guess it's the Moon Witch and Autocar.
Dolce, though enthusiastic, is probably not. I mean, he doesn't want to seem like a coward, but will definitely volunteer to go with the caravan.
Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to sort of figure that out in case they need to make a bunch of decisions on their own.
Understood. Makes sense.
And Adhikar,
All right.
before leaving, says, "How long should we wait if something happens to you? I know we've been through a lot, but bad things do happen."
I look at the other members of our party. Eek.
I do not believe you should wait at all. You should continue on, and then when you get to the next civilized place or uncivilized, depending on your point of view, Autocar, make a decision about
I would suggest maybe find a if my suggestion, and again, other members of the group can countermand this or like make a different suggestion. I would say like maybe travel a day's maybe travel like a day's journey away from here where you're not subject to these vomish spiderfish because we hadn't really seen any of these except once we got close to here. Head on southeast along the road, along along the edge of the lake. Find a good defensive place that you could set up for that you could set up and circle the wagons. Wait for us for a week, and if we're not back in a week, move on.
All right. You will be missed.
Thank you.
Not feel good about separating the party.
It's probably about midday at this point. And the rebuilder lady is pretty exhausted from the exertion and has gone back to like lounge by the edge of the water swamp or whatnot.
Well, I guess there's no better time than the present, shall we, folks?
We should.
Let's go into the autofac and see what we see.
Fantastic. It is I'm not going to make anyone roll for climbing or anything. It is definitely not built for human traversing. There's a lot of climbing first down into it through like weird organic cables and pipes and basically following sort of conduits and vents and whatnot. You do it is uncomfortably warm and very moist Not very dark. The inside is lit occasionally by the same sort of orbs that you see at the top of the towers.
Okay.
You do hear within, deeper within, the same sort of bird calls, kind of, as the like biomechanical birds that were flying around above, but in a sort of weirder, like glitchier register.
Okay. Well, we'll be on the lookout for those. Um, so I am going to activate my I'm going to activate my glove,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm going to try to use it to like scan the no. I'm going to try to use it to like scan the noosphere. So if I can, I'm basically what I want to try to do is figure out, is there like a control room or a command center or like an interface such that we could go to get a better idea of like what the, you know, like get an idea of like the extent of this thing, what
Mm-hmm.
it does, and possibly a way to communicate with it.
Yeah. Um, so the machine part of the noosphere lights up when you interface with it with the glove. You can see that where you are is a pretty extensive kind of like support mechanism for delivering whatever is built, and that includes larger things to things on the molecular level, like basically like a delivery mechanism to bring everything to the surface. um, it goes very, very deep. It would probably take you at least the better part of the rest of the day to get down to where you can sort of see where the central like manufacturing and processing stuff is. Um,
I'm looking more for like a again, I'm looking more for like a not I don't necessarily want to go to the factory floor.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was looking for like a control room
yeah.
or like a communications outpost
Mhm.
or like an interface with whoever would have built this thing in the first place, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't think going to the floor of a biomechanical autofac is
Yeah,
necessarily a good idea.
probably not great. Um, Let me get a thought roll, plus 3 for the gauntlet.
Okay. That's going to be +7. No, that's going to be +5.
We're looking for a 16.
E. Okay, let's put a 20 here and let's see what we get. Well, let's see. I rolled a 7 on the dice. +2 +3 is 5. That's a 12.
Mm-hmm.
You said we need a 16.
Yeah. With a 12, you can see that this system was um, much older than anything you've interfaced with previously. It is clearly like it was built, at the cusp of civilization as we know
Got
it.
it. I'm gonna throw a hero die on that, and I'm really hoping for a 4. I got a 3.
Yeah.
We're at 15.
I think with a 15, like more scanning, it will give you the like extent of it. It is definitely larger and more powerful than the one beneath the Lurid Pines, um, significantly. Um,
Ooh, okay. Hopefully it won't be as insane, however.
no, it seems in exceptional working order, in fact.
Okay.
So can Albanegra add some extra to that?
Sure, tell me how.
So Albanegra has also been scanning it, and she's got she's got both worker and also architecture plus
Mhm.
Vomit engineering. So she's been trying to figure out how all of this is functioning at the level that we're seeing.
Mm.
And and she's scanning in the noosphere. What she let me make a roll real fast. me just see something. Okay. What she, well, my justification is that she can try and talk to Phaedrid, like show Phaedrid the arterial network
Mhm.
or how different systems are passing either um, messages or other kinds of content through. And so basically just help Phaedrid focus on a particular kind of
Kind of like separating the operating
yeah,
things from the production things. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
right.
Throw that
Okay.
out there.
Then I will throw a d6 and see what we get. 5.
Fantastic.
Ooh, okay.
18.
Brings us to an 18.
So this will allow you to identify the control mechanisms. It is, fortunately for you in particular, it is in an ancient, like not even language, but one that you recognize from the steel.
Okay.
You would theoretically be able to figure out how to interface with it, but you know that you definitely can plug into the kind of brain of the autofac. You do know through Aldenegra's scanning as well, there are active VOM defenses in place that have developed over the past millennia. And in fact, I think in the process of finding this interface, you can kind of tell that it is active because there are regular VOM incursions. In fact, there are currently some flitting around inside the artifact now that are being dealt with, but
Okay.
you have not been detected as a intruder or anything yet.
Got it. So they know we're here, but they don't know that they don't think we're a threat.
Right. Yeah. It's basically only identifying like VOM infected things as threats right now.
Oh, okay. So
Of
since
which
we're
there are some in there.
So these
Got it.
are
Not great
these
for you.
are biomantic, but not necessarily vomish.
Say that again.
Well, it sounds like these antibody type things are biomantic, but not vomish.
Yes. Yeah. Its defenses are part of its
Yeah.
properly working biomantic machinery. Yeah.
Okay.
Got it. But there are some hostile vomish incursions that are happening.
It is basically fighting off an infection of
Right.
some sort of vomish intruders that if you
Okay.
were to run into them would probably not be great either.
Got it. Okay. Well, that is good to know. Well, in that case, I'm going to try to interface with the autofact's brain.
Yeah.
Try to make contact with it.
Yeah, you are able to do that. It is definitely identifies as a rising prism of perception. It is immeasurably old. It has in fact been like the generation of this platform, the towers, and like it basically holds the history of a civilization, and its purpose is to produce entertainment materials to communicate that to others, and its current incarnation is doing that through the thing. Skelly has to leave for the pharmacy.
Oh no.
Okay, cool. Take care of your
Okay,
cat.
we get it.
Yeah.
Take care of your
Might
cat.
need to
Take
get-
care of yourself.
Might need to get a tetanus shot. So
Oh
we'll see.
no.
Oh dear.
Okay.
All right, see ya.
Take care of yourself.
Okay. Good luck. Good luck. Oh, that's a drag.
Yeah, tetanus is no good.
This is no good.
Bit by a squirrel once, had to do that. It was not fun. Um,
I was attacked by a stray cat once, and I had to go through post-exposure rabies. That is not
Oh, that
fun.
is not good at all.
I mean, it's better than rabies.
It is better than having actual
I
rabies.
mean, I'm telling you the story, which means it's better than rabies. So,
Um, yeah. So this thing definitely, is functioning as programmed.
as it,
Um, it is extremely it is beyond anything that you have encountered thus far. I think if Adoron is part of the sensing crew, you can tell
Yeah.
that its magnitude is approximately the same as the Gallgrass entity.
Oh, okay.
It's level 14.
Ha! Good to know.
good to know. Good to know it's level 14. I am level 5.
I
Yeah.
know. Yeah. Well, it makes me wonder what the rebuilder is.
I think it might be on a different scale.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think the actual rebuilder is
Yeah.
off the charts.
I was going to say it's got to be at least the actual rebuilder has got to be at least level 20.
um, Only 17. That's fine. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, is that it?
Still quite something. Quite something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People can only go up to level 10.
Oh, okay.
No matter
Right.
how powerful you get. So
Gotcha.
great. So that in mind, you are able to interface with it. Whether you can get it to do what you want is another thing altogether.
Got it. Well, I mean, honestly, what I would like to do is, yeah, I guess I will ask. I think at this point, I'm mainly gathering information. I want to try to figure out like what it knows, like what it knows of its original purpose and those who programmed it,
Mhm.
and if I can try to figure out like, because it's been millennia and this thing's biomechanical, so I'm sure it's not actually producing what it was originally told to do. I'm sure there's
Um,
been some kind of drift.
I think it is very close to its original programming.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it does. I think if you troll through the programming, without like this is just diagnostic stuff that's not difficult to uncover. It basically does um, like recreate the people that you met from the flesh of the rebuilder, and then like use them to like they are basically like programmed in a way to demonstrate like oh they
Got
rebuilt
it.
themselves with these parts, they fall
So
apart.
these people, they are, I mean, they're less people and they're more quote people unquote.
I think when you because you've been noospherically active throughout the course of the thing, and they do seem to be like people with full complement of Hakaba.
Full complement of faculties. Okay.
Yeah. So this thing is
So,
able to build a full Hakaba
yeah,
being.
and whether it's they are storing the souls and spirits of those involved and reinserting them, or recreating them somehow, or pulling them from another source and destroying them when they're done with them.
Hard to
Unclear.
say. Can I tell from this interface, is this thing connected to the battery that our friend the rebuilder like talked about? Like where is this thing getting its energy from? Because if it's somehow
Yeah.
connected to a soul mill, then that might answer that question.
I, I think I'm not gonna make your roll for it because I think it's a trivial roll. I think you can tell that its power does come from that direction, and that's the only thing that makes sense.
Got it. Well, I will tell my compatriots that this thing is well more advanced is much more advanced, much more sophisticated, and much saner than the last autofact that we interfaced with.
It may be able to create souls.
to the point where I am kind of afraid to ask it to change, just because we are well within its innards. It's got an active defense system, and if it doesn't like what we ask, it may incorporate us into the next. It may send its defenses against us. I'm a little afraid to, now that I'm aware of how powerful this thing is. I think Phaedra is a little afraid to push any further. I think I will ask. I think I will ask it about how it acquired. Yeah, I'll ask it how it originally acquired our friend of the or like our new friend of the rebuilder,
Hmm.
and how she came to be here.
I think, yeah, you can tell. Again, this is probably taking some time. In fact, I think at this point you're probably camping down there, more or less. Um, and I'm gonna take up a day because I think this has been about that much time.
Makes sense.
Um,
And I'm guessing it's not just Phaedra that's doing this, because
yeah,
a number
everyone.
of everyone has some connection to the noosphere and or some connection to like to biomancy.
Mhm.
So I'm guessing it's not just Phaedra that's doing this. Like,
Yeah, like
we're all,
Modan's got some biomecho tinkerer stuff going on, and yeah, everyone's
yeah,
got
Adoron's there, and Albanegra's doing stuff, and yeah,
yeah.
Skelly's doing some necromancy stuff.
I think um I think what you can get is that it was an efficiency implemented X number of hundreds or thousands of years ago. Um, like it would originally create this thing from scratch, like it does the others. But when the astral lizard with the body basically got like pulled into the orbit of the soul mill, it decided to repurpose it for this purpose instead of creating it from scratch every time.
Is
Okay.
there is there a way we could convince it to release it
Mm,
and to go back to its original programming?
that's going to be difficult, but if you want to try, you may.
Yeah, at this point, I'm not ordering it to. I'm like
Mm.
trying to convince it to
Well,
let it go.
so I have some questions. Um, and just so Albanegra is studying um, the antibody system.
Mhm.
She wants to understand how the antibodies are working and see if she can figure out where the Vomish intrusions are coming from and stuff.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean,
Also,
basically the Romish intrusions are, coming wherever the outside interfaces with it, whether it's from the some of them are coming from the tops of the towers, some of them are coming from where the swamp around it, it's part of the land around it. So some burrowing
right.
bones come in. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's basically just like critters are going to find, like squirrels are going to find their way into your
Yeah,
attic. And it's it takes care of them in various ways, whether by
yeah.
creating something to attack it with, or shutting them off and squeezing them to death, or whatever is appropriate for the
Okay.
critter.
Is it doing a pretty good job of maintaining its health?
Oh yeah, yeah, it is real good at it.
Okay. Okay.
And
Um,
I'm sorry, go on.
Adoron, yeah, I have two things.
Please, I'm
What,
sorry.
what
I didn't mean to
Adoron
interrupt.
is
Go.
trying to understand is how conscious is the autofac? How
Mm,
much is it more like a machine, and how much is it a conscious being?
yeah. It is what do they say about it? It's when it is operating kind of at base level, it's basically like insect level intelligence. When it is under threat or under duress or needs to like activate additional systems, it is more or less person smart. It's not built to be super intelligent or anything, but it's built to
Gotcha.
like operate at a level.
Right. So it's very powerful, but it's not necessarily very intellectual.
Right, right.
Um, can we tell if it's ever had different programming? Like, for instance, did it perform different
Mm,
stories
Different
before?
functions in the past.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's an entertainment.
yeah. I think it's been more or less stable. Like there may have been minor variations, but
Gotcha.
it's staying more or less true to its original programming.
Right.
Okay.
So it sounds like the stability of the current programming is partly premised on was there active communication from the soul mill? You said
I think this the battery that the soul mill is powering is probably giving it, magical energy, and actual energy. Um, I don't think it's getting communication from the soul mill. It's just like
okay,
battery.
but when the astral lizard was repurposed
Mhm.
here, um, what I'm trying to logic out how that might have occurred.
Mm. And I think that like aside from like in the logs from hundreds of years ago, like there's like an efficiency was noted. I think like whatever the process or reasoning is, like that was all overwritten because it didn't matter at the point. There's like, oh, we did a thing.
Yeah, yeah. They've wiped out those logs.
Yeah. So
Um,
let me ask. It seems like there might be two main intentions here. One would be to free our astral lizard from its indenture as part of the pageant, um, and either sub that or separate. If you are interested in getting the actual rebuilder's body back, um, whether it's taking it from the lizard or getting one from the factory, um, those both seem avenues that are possible to be pursued. And then also, whatever else you like. It is a very powerful and
okay.
valuable resource that is here.
Right. That's a good point. Can we tell if it could give so if it made a new body, since it seems to be able to make the body,
Mhm.
is it possible that it could make the body with a proto soul?
I think that is well within its capabilities.
So because what I'm thinking is while the rebuilder may prefer to have her actual soul, if we at least had a body with a proto soul, maybe we could help her get free using that.
Hmm.
And then she can go look for her real soul,
Hmm.
not just us.
It's
It's an interesting
a shot.
concept. Um, so Phaedrid,
Yes.
is it possible that we could hmm, we could talk to the autofac about creating a test version of the rebuilder's body with a protosoul?
Well, we can certainly ask. I don't think we're in a position to order it to do anything, but we could conceivably try to convince it to do something.
Yeah, I
And
definitely don't think taking a ordering it position is ever a good act. We should negotiate with it as a friend and peer.
exactly. Um, so you're suggesting that it create another body similar to the one that the astral lizard is currently.
It's like a scratch body, just a.
Well, one or more bodies to experiment with, communicate. Perhaps we could communicate to it that we might be able to add some upgrades to the performance, and
Mm.
we need some bodies to experiment with.
I like that. Ooh, I like that.
And then if it is interested in any of the bodies that we experiment with, maybe then it would also free the astral lizard. And we could take one protobody back for the rebuilder, and the astral lizard would be able to keep the body that they have. But we'd have to do some very, very fine work. But you are a marketing wizard.
Mhm. Basically, to try to figure out a way to. So I think Phaedron's better at that than I the player am. So yeah, he'd probably be able to spin this in a way to. So I like this. So
you're
Phaedron's
trying to
going to
create a
try
very
to.
convincing user story for the.
Exactly. I want to try exactly. I want to try to convince it that this is a really good idea and that it's going to be good for it's going to be like it's going to greatly be able to enhance the performance. It's going to be able to put on an even better show.
Mhm.
Also, another angle you might be able to inject, possibly in your pitch, depending. I'm sorry, I can't remember. Did we establish like what's the level of like sentience of this? Like,
It's about
It's
like
kind of like
us.
bug level when it's not being threatened, but if it's like if it needs to like activate, it's like about like average person intelligence.
right. I'm just trying to gather if it like understands concepts like empathy and things like that, or if it's like does not compute. I make things.
Unlike like maybe at a base level, like it understands that it's a thing that exists, but it probably doesn't have it.
Well, the angle I was thinking you might be able to incorporate as well, and this is of course a very, I feel like a very modern perspective, is kind of trying to maybe concoct an analogous scenario to make it understand sort of the pain the lizard is feeling. Like, what if someone else forcefully overtook an autofac and made it disassemble and reassemble itself and do things it didn't want to do every day?
I would be afraid that it might interpret that as a threat.
I do think empathy is an interesting concept, however, but not so much empathy for the actors on the stage, but rather creating new forms of empathy for the audience.
Mm.
There'd be a wider audience if beings were not being unwillingly harmed in the process of the show. So that would put some audience members off.
To go back and to restore to its original programming where it was creating this on its own.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think it's possible to, maybe you're right, it might be dangerous, but I do think it's possible to take the approach of being like, hey, we're friends, we have no ill intent, but like others might see that as a problem and feel that changes needed to be made or disassemblies need to be made if they found, not us, but like other people might go, hey, oh, this is bad.
Modan, I am sad to say, but I believe that this autofac has very poor grasp of social connections and responsibilities.
Maybe, but we don't know. It's kind of a big question mark.
It is.
So I think that
we might be able to teach it something.
We do need to convince it that what we are offering is an improvement over the efficiency it currently has.
Yes. So yeah, I think that's a pitch I'm going to make to the autofac, that it would be that yeah. So we're going to ask it to one, release the astral with the astral lizard. No.
No. Ask it to generate some spare bodies so we can experiment, so we can see if we can improve the show. And then if it likes what we do, it can release the astral lizard because it no longer needs it. And then we can take one of the experimental bodies back.
Okay, I like that.
So I think convincing it or programming it or pitching it to create a new body is going to be an easy task. I think
Okay.
with or without, however that rolls out, it's going to be hard to get it to go back to the original way. Which
And that's
that an easy task for this one is going to require a 23.
oh, okay.
And a hard task will require a whatever that is plus 8, 31. So
okay,
this is within
because that's
this is within
because
your
that's a level
capabilities.
because that's a level difference.
Yeah.
What? I'm sorry. Reiterate. What was the hard task?
The hard task
31.
is getting it to release the astral lizard, basically.
Oh, right. Gotcha.
And that would be a 31.
Yeah.
But I would like to point out that as long as we're not pitching it as going back to the old way, but rather pitching it as improving its entertainment. Like what I want to do is in between, I want to get some bodies and I want us to biomagically try to create something better.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
then if we can successfully create something better, or at least something interesting, I mean, we don't know if it's better or not, then maybe that will give us a boost on the second roll. Like I'm not trying to just
Nope.
confuse it. I'm trying to
Yeah.
actually improve its performance.
Okay. So we
So,
need a 20. We need a 23 to make. We need to like get a 23 on a roll to
Yeah.
convince it to start making some additional bodies with a protosoul,
Some test
at least
bodies.
one with a protosoul.
Yeah.
How many hero dice between us all? We have quite a few, right?
You do.
All right. So Alba Negra will create just ahead of time. She is going to create a mixture to pump up your charisma.
I think this is actually going to be a thought. So if you're trying
Okay.
to pitch the machine, I think it's going to be a thought
A
roll.
thought roll.
It'll be a thought roll. Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
So I think you'd be able to do thought plus advertising engineer.
Okay.
And I'll even give you the +3 for the gauntlet on top of that.
Okay.
That is its purpose, and it is a really cool thing.
Got it. Okay. So that's 6, 9. That'll be +11.
+11. Totally.
Yay.
Well, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Rolled a
Ooh,
14 plus
25.
11
That
is
is
a 25.
25. That will do it.
No hero dice necessary.
No
Yeah.
hero dice necessary. Totally
Yeah.
easy. Great. So you've given it instructions to create additional. So do you want to create an additional rebuilder body, or do you want to create like a bunch of more test performer bodies as well?
What did you? Yeah, I'm gonna defer to Teal here on what did you have in mind, and that's what we'll tell it to do.
So we need at minimum 2 rebuilder bodies, but we might want to have a few more in case we mess up some of our rolls. But I think it's a really interesting idea to also see about improving some of the other actors too. That's a definitely interesting concept. It'll take us longer, but if we can create a value added situation, see, Adoron is using his market or his merchant stuff that you've taught him or taught them. But yeah, so
Nice.
value add is good.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
Cool.
I also think it's very interesting that our group is starting to turn into wandering
Biohackers.
yeah, biomancers. It's like wandering biomancers building bodies wherever. Very strange.
Yeah, this is not the direction I thought we would be going in this game, but hey, you never know.
Here we are.
Here we
Um,
are.
yeah. So, what time is it when you come out? Let's find out. Cool. So, this does take a while. And you do emerge in, I think it is the day after you started on that. And it is the middle of the night. The orbs are glowing reddish orange on the pillars, and you can see the few remains of the rebuilder's body that have been pulled apart, and the new ones built out of them. And they're, it is nighttime, so they're doing nighttime things, but they're basically like, this is the part where like, oh, this is the rise of the society, and we are like just people who have been created and are discovering our world and stuff. And I think as that is happening, the rebuilder's body is being built within the machine and will be delivered the next day probably.
Okay.
Yes, I don't want to raise my hand. Go away. Can I make that go away? Lower hand. There we go.
I was gonna say it's under the React menu.
Right. If you just want to hang out today, you
Can we
totally.
can we take a little break here?
Oh yeah.
I need
We have
to
been going for a
step
while.
off.
Yeah. Let's take a break to the top of the hour. How about that?
Okay, sounds good.
Pause. Alrighty. Great. So we have a big a big red lady body, which is there on the second day. It's appeared in the ivory depression there. It seems to be healthy. Yeah, and the pageant is otherwise continuing as it goes. I think it is. There are a few more people than there were before. Some of which, upon close observation, are duplicates of people who are already there.
Oh,
but yeah.
okay.
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 So what is the plan with the new body now that we have it?
I believe we need to figure out a way to augment it. I have been thinking things that could augment it would include such things as possibly magic tech or enhancements, but it also needs to be something that the autofac can reproduce.
Oh,
So,
if you were to transport it, it would be 8 sacks.
okay, good to know.
Good to know. I'm sorry we sent our caravan away.
Yeah, but we're not going to transport it yet, but we may be transporting it later.
I mean, we could, if we want to send Skelly in his car to go get the caravan and have him come back.
Definitely do.
Yeah, that's not
Let's
a
do
bad
that.
idea. Right.
Let's do that. Because we kept the car here with the intention of like, using that to catch up with the caravan. So if we said, yeah, let's send Skelly and in his car, and the car is fast.
The car is fast.
The car is fast when it's not like, when it's not towing a cart. So yeah, let's send Skelly and his car back to get the caravan and have them come back.
Cool. I'm going to label days by the colors of the lights on the pillars for the moment. It is the morning of yellow day when the body arrives.
Okay.
And I think he would be able to get there within that day, and then they could arrive probably by the end of Green Day.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
we're
what is
not.
the yeah, we're so yeah, so what is our plan? What do you suggest? How do you suggest we augment this body?
No
Well,
spirit
we do have a number.
investigation shows that it does not have a soul or spirit attached to it. It is alive for all intents and purposes, though. It's not like a human body necessarily, but it does like function.
So the first thing we need to do is to examine it and to see if we can understand enough about it that we can interact with it as biomancers.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be um, advanced isn't necessarily the right word, but it is it is fit for a greater being. It is not like a standard human body. It is basically like
So
the actual rebuilder's body that was taken from her and has been disassembled and reassembled in its form many times, but very well because that autofac is good at its job.
now, Adoron, I know that your intention is to offer this body to the rebuilder to inhabit, for better or for worse. There are rumors that the rebuilder is, I mean, I've heard rumors that the rebuilder is a terrible in not in terms of like negative, but in like
Awesome.
is but yeah, but is awesome, is awe-inspiring, is terror inspiring just because it is so because the rebuilder is such a um and awesome and just is such an awesome and grand presence that she would invoke fear in some people who would gaze upon her. And she's also incredibly powerful. Um, but I know that is the intention to like let her come back into the world.
I am interested in hearing more of her story from others, just to get some perspective on who she is. But from what I've seen, um, part of the reason people are afraid of the Rebuilder is because when she lost control, she caused a lot of damage.
As can happen when beings of immense power lose control, as you put it. And unleashing unleashing a being of godlike power into the world. Before we proceed, do you know what her intentions are?
I do not, for until recently, she had no reason to believe that her state would change.
The phrasing is she is mostly unable to expand her attention beyond the event horizon of her despair. is the given phrasing.
Yeah. She needs some healing.
That girl needs therapy.
Man, the bill that therapist would be charging.
Actually, I'm free.
Cool. So what is you've got a day to putter around before the caravan shows up, or you can just wait for them to show up.
I think we would like to, yeah, get some more assessment of this body, what it's capable of, what we need to do to keep it sustained until such time as we're able to, I guess, offer it to the rebuilder. But we also were talking about enhancing it in such a way that we could conceivably convince the autofac that it needed to do more like this to perhaps improve its show. hopefully allowing it to then hopefully giving us like, hopefully giving us a bit of an edge when we go back and ask it to potentially free the astral lizard.
I believe that in order to free the astral lizard, we need to show a clear upgrade path.
Now, I think in your
I do not believe.
investigations and pitching and whatnot, I think it's clear that the efficiency with the lizard is not necessarily with the body, but with the spirit and soul of the lizard itself. So instead of having to manufacture a soul that can pilot this substantially more advanced body, it can instead of building that every time, it can kind of like store the lizard and then put it back in.
Oh, okay.
And in fact, in your popping around the noosphere casually for the last few days, the lizard is not around right now. So you probably assume it has been like, once the body is destroyed, it is pulled back in and then will be reinserted into the body when it's
right.
Okay.
So Albanegra says, if the soul and spirit of the lizard is important, it's possible that I could capture a fragment of that and create an alternative semblance of that. Although I'm used to doing it in much, much smaller amounts. I might need some help.
So in other words, you're looking to perhaps pull a shard of the lizard's soul off and use that to propagate a copy?
It might be possible. It is beyond what I have done before, but it is an intriguing concept. Previously, I have taken bits of people's souls and then made them, I have turned them into products for other people to consume to have their experiences. This is a larger scale, but it is interesting.
Yasa the Moon Witch is still here, right?
Yes. Oh no, she's not actually.
Oh no, she was with the caravan.
Yeah,
But the caravan's going to be back. Caravan will be back tomorrow. So
so everyone else went with the caravan. Do we have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much everyone else went with the caravan. It was just the five. It was just the five of us who stayed.
Great.
We were afraid to risk it.
And Skelly's not with us now either because he went back to like retrieve the caravan to like tell the caravan and convince them all to come back.
So it's Phaedrid, Moden, Adoron, and who here now?
Albanegra.
Albanegra.
Right. Okay, got it. PC party only.
Yes, very vulnerable.
Cool. So, you want to wait till the caravan to show up then?
No, I think while this is going on, I think I'd like, since there's, now that we've like figured out like soul stuff is kind of outside of Phaedrid's wheelhouse. He knows the engineering side, he knows some of the he knows the magitech, not so much the biomancy. I think what Phaedrid is gonna do is I think he's gonna like, we haven't really like checked out the other areas where the other towers have fallen and whatnot. I think Phaedrid just wants to take some time to like poke through that to see if there's anything of value that we would be able to scrounge out of there. Because I have a salvage skill that I haven't used in quite a while.
That is true. Let me take a look at what we have here. With your salvage skill, for free. I think you've been busy, but in the course of your busyness, you've noticed a few things of value here. The lovely glowing spheres at the tops of the towers are finely crafted by the autofac. And you can conjecture by the state of the towers, like the towers are continually kind of like maintained and rebuilt.
Oh, so if we were somehow able to get our hands on some of these lights,
They would probably just come back
probably just
eventually.
more would appear.
Yeah. They seem to be of value. And the mechanical, like biomechanical birds that are also flying around, like they're kind of like, I think you have seen, like, they don't seem to like come and go like regular birds. It's almost as if like they're flying in a pattern, a repeating pattern over the course of days. I think someone watching them for a few
Oh,
hours would notice.
I wonder if I wonder if that's part of the autofac's defense system.
They are also lit as well. It looked like maybe they were lit by the lamps, but it seems like they also have an internal glow. And they are also very finely crafted biomechanical constructs.
Oh, so if we could conceivably capture or like, so if we could capture or like get one without causing it, or like kill one without causing it too much damage, it would probably be worth a lot.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The rest, it's pretty just ruined around here.
Got it.
Swamp,
Okay.
fallen towers, molds and slimes.
Got it. Yeah, there's nothing really in the tower, in the fallen towers. It's the working towers that's where the valuable stuff is.
Yeah. And third, more intensive and dangerous option, if you could convince the autofac or pitch it to create something else of value, it is very good at doing that.
So we could try to steal some lights. We could try to like capture some of these birds, or we could go back, or I could go back in and try to convince it to make something else of valuable.
Make some goodies.
Make something else of valuable. How hard could that be?
Hard.
Hard.
Very difficult, but probably very profitable.
I'm curious about the lights and how one would conceivably be able to like acquire some.
Yeah. I mean, it would only require shaving up some 100-foot tall shafts.
It seems
Only.
like any of those options, though, we should pursue when we're going to leave.
Not a bad idea.
Because we don't want to piss anybody off while we still have business here. And also, I feel it worth mentioning, like all these plans we are talking about, as if they're fact, are all based on pure assumptions. As far as like, well, this is what we need to do, is this and this. And it's like, well, that's, yeah, possibly.
I mean, we've now got we've got a copy of the Rebuilder's body now.
Which is so it is again very finely built. The autofac is extremely good at what it does. It is a body for a game terms level 17 being. It is suitable for spirit and soul to be rejoined into a demiurge, which also makes it quite valuable.
Yeah, ask me specifically the point about like how we get it to release the lizard.
Mm-hmm. Also, remember
like
that stole that body from the Rebuilder. So
yeah, I mean that's all that's all theoretical as far as it's all like, yeah, maybe if we did this, it'll do that. We'll see.
I mean, I suppose we could go back and attempt to convince it to like, let the lizard, let the astral lizard go. I'm hoping that the lizard would then like, reward us in some regard.
It is a known body thief.
Yes.
It is also a point that it is a soul eater, so we should be cautious.
Oh yeah, I hadn't remembered that. I the player had forgotten that.
It is an astral predator.
It is an astral predator.
A
So maybe,
high-level astral predator who stole a
maybe,
body
maybe,
from the urge.
yeah, maybe freeing it might not be a great idea.
That's also a possibility.
I mean, it's not going anywhere, so.
Yeah, that's just it. Maybe unleashing that onto the world is not a great idea.
That is entirely possible.
But it has a place in the ecosystem as well. And it has fulfilled this role for many centuries. So I do not think we should just simply abandon this cause, though I do believe we should make an effort to protect ourselves from immediate
Well,
harm.
and the other thing is, in order to have another conversation with him, we're going to have to wait a week.
Yes.
And as valuable as this autofac is, it's incredibly dangerous.
Why is it dangerous?
Neither of them are going anywhere. They've been here for hundreds of years.
Well, I mean,
later, they
when
would
we were, and basically, if we were to anger it, or if we were able, if it somehow started perceiving us as a threat,
yeah, that would be bad.
that would be bad. It has access to all kinds of things that it could send against us.
It is possible that because both the astral lizard and the autofac have a greater sense of scale of time than we do, that if we were to be gone for a fairly large amount of time by our terms, they would not consider this abnormal.
Right, we could leave and come back at some point in the future and continue this endeavor.
Because we really are not in an ideal location to create a new variant body.
And from your
That is true.
conversation with the lizard, it wasn't sure if you had met before, so it's possible that it doesn't even retain that much memory.
Doesn't retain it. Yep, that's true.
That's true.
Again, speculation, but
yeah, but it sounded like it didn't know. It really did.
I think maybe we should take this body, and take our leave of this place. Perhaps on our continued journey, we'll learn more, and we'll learn more of how to release the rebuilder and let her rejoin with a copy of her body. Hopefully, she would reward us for such a thing.
He might kill us. We're not sure.
That's what scares me. I've heard plenty of stories of servitors of powerful entities / gods that once they fulfilled their god's requirement, their reward was being devoured.
I do not believe that she is such as that, although it is a point that her name is the Rebuilder. She might rebuild us
into something more to her liking.
I was built once before. It would be interesting to be built again.
You haven't really been rebuilt.
That's true.
Well, I haven't.
Once
this is
before.
as I no, from my perspective, I have but one life to live. So
how odd.
Aren't you all kind of rebuilders at this point?
Yeah. Should we attempt to interact with the soul mill, or should we leave that for the future?
I think we should leave that to the future, especially if looking at the map of Three Sticks, it's like literally on the other side of the lake from where we are. So we'd have to either get a boat or we'd need to go all the way back around. Because it's at Three Sticks, so, and we're up here in Rose Towers, so.
If we leave, what is our next destination and what is our long-term goal? Because we will now have a body of the Rebuilder, and that might
That's going to
be.
draw that is going to draw attention. My initial thought,
This is what I'm thinking also.
my initial thought when we came to Three Sticks Lake and the surrounding areas, was to, from here, I my thought was from here to perhaps, take one of the routes, then eventually back to Spectrum Run, which is probably one of the last places of civilization that we're going to see before we continue on to the Black City, which I believe is still our ultimate goal. Um, and then from there, continue west. Um, as we continue west, we're going more and more into the unknown where things get stranger and stranger. That's the exploration and the hopefully opening new trade routes. Once we get to the Black City, I've only heard rumors of the Black City. I don't really exactly know what to expect there. I'm sure we'll find things. I'm sure we'll find. I'm sure there will be opportunities.
I wonder if we should send the caravan back to the Restful Pines with the body.
Take the like.
I don't. We are the caravan. I do not think that separating us from the caravan is a good idea.
Yeah. If we're going to go back to Restful Pines with the body, I think we should all go.
My concern is that I am not sure that all of our caravan members are ready for the journey to the Black City.
Well, on their own, I don't think so. If we're going as a group, I think that is how we should. I think that's how we should proceed. Frankly, we need to bring a lot of supplies with us, and that means we need to bring a largish caravan, which means we need more support staff.
And whether or not they're ready is not something that is going to change in the time frame that we are likely going to be looking at ever.
I realize that. I was not thinking that I was wondering if.
So my question is, do you want to head back to Restful Pines with the body in order to continue some experiments to try to bring the rebuilder's body, like to reunite the rebuilder with her body there, as opposed to out here in the frontier? I guess I'm not quite sure what your intent of going back to our most recent base camp would be.
My concern is that the body is an awkward thing to carry with us. Also, I am concerned about our fellow caravan persons. The other thing, though, is that I still need to find the rebuilder's soul. So I need to continue exploring in this direction.
And I think your last intelligence about that was the Dark Light Passage,
Right.
Dark Light Passage. Ooh, okay.
which is about a month and a half south.
Yep.
Or west.
Yep. So, which means we would need to take the body and continue going. I mean, we could certainly put the body in the necro wagon once everything's here. The necro wagon can certainly hold that, and assuming that this body doesn't really need a lot of maintenance,
No,
we can more or less just kind of like throw a big tarp over it. Hopefully, it won't draw too much attention. I mean, a lot of people are shunned by the necro wagon anyway. It is really freaking creepy.
That is a point. Let's see. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Very well. I believe that when the rest of the caravan gets here, we should explain that our next travel point will be a line of demarcation that they need to choose whether or not they are prepared to move forward with us.
Fair enough.
So the caravan will arrive at the end of green light day, as the lights start turning blue. And y'all can camp there that evening. I think everyone in the caravan, I think everyone who has traveled with you through all the stuff so far is down for whatever you guys are down for. I don't think there's
Okay.
any internal dissent about that. Even yeah, even the coward and
Dolce.
are like, yeah, you guys seem to have your shit together. Let's do it.
Okay. I was worried about Dolce, but
Yeah, Dolce isn't individually courageous, but is enthusiastic to experience adventure if someone else is in front of him.
Gotcha. Is it possible that while Alba Negra is muttering to herself and working on a formula for transferring souls, that she is overheard by Yasa Fufuria?
Sure. Yeah.
Because it sounded like Yasa Fufuria might have some contribution to that. And I'm not sure that Alba Negra would think to ask her, but she certainly would be wandering around because she's still working on that problem.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think they are of a similar. They're of like similar schools. Alba Negra is definitely more advanced than Yasa.
Okay.
Yeah. She might offer some naive help, but
actually, so with Modan's permission, Alba Negra will seek to teach Yasa Fufuria to improve her botany skills.
Whatever she wants.
fantastic.
So when next time we train, I will train work on training Yasa Fufuria.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So where are we going next?
So we're still so we're I think I think what we want to do is, so we're here by Rose Towers. I think we want to continue following the road around Three Sticks Lake so that we end up basically back at and I think we're basically going to want to end back up at
Red Bear.
We're going to end up back at Red Bear, and then from there I think I'm going to switch back to the big map.
Yeah, so Glassbridge, we're either going to backwards to the forward, to the Gallgrass, or trying to hit Spectrum Run.
So just as a side comment, you had made an arrangement with the leader at Red Bear. Were you going to try and do something about that?
Oh yeah, what was it was something about getting a better body for the leader who's in like an old clunky.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Now, were you going to try and sell the concrete body, which I'm not sure that's an upgrade?
They would definitely buy the concrete body from you for sure.
Do we want to, since we're still here at the autofac, do we want to go back to the autofac and convince it to make a new body, but not one that's as sophisticated as the.
Doesn't have to be that good.
Doesn't have to be that good, but a really good human scale body.
It sure seems like those two puzzle pieces fit together very well.
Well, and we do
duplicate bodies of the pageanters as well.
Now, in the duplicate bodies of the
inhabited, but
are they? Do they have all of their faculties, or are they just okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we should take them with us either way.
The duplicates, like take them on
Yeah,
as like party
because
members.
well, just from the practical perspective that we did make an arrangement, and that's part of the arrangement. So I'm not saying that we will ever actually complete the arrangement. We may fail at that, but if we were going to do it in good faith, we should at least take the parts that were given to us.
See if they can. Yeah, well, I mean, I think part of that was going to be like convincing them to come along with us.
Yeah, I mean, they are people.
There are people. They're if they might have been created to our specifications, but they have their own will,
And they do have a
And-
purpose here. Yeah.
and they do
Yeah,
have
I
a
was gonna
purpose
say,
here.
why is it we're trying to get them to go with this?
It was well, so the original thing was we were going to try and work on, as a value add, we were going to try to work on improving some of the other actors in the performance.
Yeah, and try to make the performance better. That was what the autofac was going to get out of this deal.
Yeah. And I'm not quite sure how to do that with the other bodies.
Nor I. Yeah, I'm curious. Should we go back to the autofac and ask it to create one more human scale body without a soul that we could take with us, that we
Same
could
purposes?
conceivably?
So here's the question. Can you interact with the autofac without having to tear through its belly again?
Is the opening still, is it still open or isn't it?
Ooh, that's a good question. It has been 1, 2, 3, 4. It's been 4 days. It is being reconstructed. I think you could probably still fit in, but you would have to break your way out if you stay down there too long.
Yeah, I don't want to be there long. Basically, I wanted to, since we know where to go and how to interface with it, especially, maybe it wouldn't necessarily have to go to like the very node we were at the first place. If you just like get inside, I could interface and like make that request. So I hopefully wouldn't be in there for more than a couple of hours.
Yeah, I think that would be an easy task.
Okay. Easy meaning it would be a 23.
So a 23, yes.
Yeah. Adoron will go with you just because of safety concerns.
That makes sense. Okay.
Modan, you
Or
go.
maybe,
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay.
All righty.
Albanegro is going to stay up on top and hang out with the caravan.
So last time this interface was it a plus 11? Or am I still at a
I think
plus
that's the
11
same,
here?
yeah. Yep.
Okay, and I'm looking for a 23. And I'm rolling a d20 at plus 11. Let's see what we get.
For 12, I guess.
Oh dear God.
Hey!
And a 12.
All right, so we need 11 more.
10 more, right?
Okay.
10 more.
Yeah.
I mean, well, luckily we're all
So
here.
plus 11 is 23. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll throw here yeah, so we're definitely getting some pushback. Like maybe why don't we say that, well,
I think it's like asking for the test results from the first run through.
Yeah, there we go. It wants test results from the first run, and we don't really, and I was like, well, we really need this other in order to like get more test results. And also maybe since we didn't go so far in, maybe we don't have as good a connection with the brain as we did.
Yeah.
Which is
More
making it
protocol
harder.
layers to go through.
So
Well, and Adoron will contribute to the conversation if that's possible.
Sure.
Indicating that we are not as efficient as you, and so we will need to do creative experimentation. Therefore, we have not yet stepped into the creative stage of modifying the body.
Our initial tests have been inconclusive.
Great.
So I'm going to throw a hero die in and let's see what happens. So let's see. We are currently at 13. Okay, we're at 14.
Okay, so Adoron's first thing was what I just said, trying to reset the expectations. Well, that helped a little bit.
We're at 16.
Looking for 7 more.
Right.
I can throw a die in. I'm just trying to figure out how exactly. I'm wondering if there's some way I can use the diagnostic one to be like, oh, we're running diagnostics. See, we have not yet completed the diagnostics to know how it's working.
Yeah, or you can even like,
Hey, a 6.
Whoa,
Hey, there
it
we
leaves
go.
you.
Just need 1 more then.
You have tools.
Tools are the way to go.
It's like, oh, he's got a diagnostic wand. Obviously, he's doing the work.
There we go.
Who's throwing in the last one?
I mean, I can throw the last one in, or you want to do it, Heath?
Yeah, I was just thinking because I think I've got the most hero dice out of everybody.
Yeah,
I've
I've
still
only
got a bunch
got
left, so.
1 left at the moment.
So yeah, I think I did it. I'm wondering if I might be able to with my oh, I'm still working on that. Let me see. So I'm still
Can I
working
give you a
on.
suggestion?
Sure.
Why don't you use the intentions one to see what it is the autofac wants to hear?
Oh.
Sure. As I'm showing it the diagnostic wand, I am also detecting its intentions. I mean, see if I can kind of fudge it and be like, that's exactly what we want too. That's also our intention. Your intention, our intention, in line, synergy.
And that's why you need that, and that's why it would be in everyone's best interest if you gave us the thing that we are asking for.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Good to know we're all on the same page here.
Well, and I'd actually like to know what its intentions are. That would be really interesting.
Yeah. Its intention, put on the best show possible. So
my roll was a 3, by the way.
You have convinced it then. Knowing that so you're looking for a body for Madame Red Star.
Yes.
Her current body is a neural network hooked into a psych machine augmentations, and like a weird, it's just like a weird metal gross support body. So her actual head is in like a jar on top of this body. What do you want this new body to look like?
I was figuring a more or less human. Oh. I was thinking like a human shaped, like, like a body that's kind of like the one that they built for the Rebuilder, like made of similar materials, but human scale with human features and human number of limbs and eyes and whatnot.
I believe the question is more, how are we planning on interfacing the currently alive head to the soon to be presented body?
That's true.
And I think that's a Biomancer question, so that's a Modin and Adoron question.
I mean,
I was going to say,
make a body with a head. She could take the head off and put her head on. So I think that's just mechanics. That's just
that's one way to do it, and another way would be some kind of like magical ritual that would allow you to like transfer transfer your soul and personality complex into the new body.
Yeah, sure, but we don't know that. I don't think. So Modin, how would we best attach a head to a body?
I'm wondering if I might be able to do some modifications to my biomechanical goo that I made your new body out of.
Yeah.
To make maybe some sort of a collar that could fuse.
And the other thing is, they asked for a body.
Yeah.
I'm presuming they know what to do with it once they have it.
Possibly.
They don't. That's part of the point.
Modin, you can give the autofac your specifications for the goo, and it can produce the best version of it.
I don't. Oh.
Cool specifications.
So, you've got the body there.
I wonder.
Yeah.
I wonder if so what if we have the autofac produce a body for Adoron and then give the lady Adoron's current body?
Ooh. Like a new body that was of the same specs as your old one? Or
Well, I don't
better?
know if we can get the same specs, but if we could get the autofac to have similar specs, because the current body that Adoron is in is essentially a very healthy but not very shapeshifty body.
Well,
But
the intention was it was eventually going to be shapeshifty. We just have not completed all
We haven't completed all that, but we got an autofac that we could conceivably give it the specs.
exactly, and because the challenge that we face is we don't know what we're doing. Like we're just trying to piece it together at this point.
So if we could, yeah, could we retcon our role and say that we were looking for a new body for Adoron?
I think that would be
Well,
more difficult.
Okay.
I don't think we need to retcon the role. The question is, can we give it specs that would, like, we just give it the specs. And if it doesn't like the specs, then we could say, okay, well, what about these specs?
well, we might be able to be like maybe like, okay, look, here's the specs of the body I created.
Mhm.
Here's the specs of the body we're the original that we lost and we're trying to recreate. We're trying to bridge that gap from
Yeah.
A to B.
Yeah, I think that would be a hard roll, which would make it a 31.
Okay. So
Which you can theoretically get to with hero dice.
We could conceivably get to that.
how far away are we?
You're at a 25 now, I think. Is that
Yeah, we are at a 25. We're sticking
Oh,
with the
that's
same roll.
not that bad.
Unless,
No.
yeah.
one hero die could theoretically do it.
Well, and we have more than one, so we could also fail.
Indeed.
So
So if we're sticking with it, so we're sticking with the original roll, and this is what we're asking for. So we were at, let's see, we were at a 25.
Mhm.
so let me
Okay.
sketch out some of this because I've actually spent a lot of time thinking about these issues over the months.
Sure.
So the red lady essentially has a spinal network and a head. So all she needs is a body that you can stick the spinal network in, have the goo sort of fuse the spinal network with the body, and understand that these bodies are biomantic, so they're both cells and probably nanotech. And the nanotech helps organize the cells. Now, what's different about Adoron's body is Adoron's body was composed of cells that were not standard cells. They were derived from octopus cells.
Right.
And so that it's got more dynamic genetic material. Now, that doesn't mean that we have to recreate that for like a new Adoron body, but that's just where like Adoron's body was. But so she's essentially got a regular biological core that needs to fit into a biomantic body, and that's not that hard to do. We have built like that's Adoron's current body has got that more or less. So we could modify Adoron's current body to be a container for her brainstem and spinal cord and stuff.
Yeah, it would take some.
Does that make
But
sense?
I think that's possible.
Okay. Yeah, it might take a little bit of time, but
Yeah.
so then the question is, how do we spec out a new body for Adoron? Given that we know something about how it worked, but don't know the details of how it was implemented.
Tell you what, we're coming up on time, so let's, if we're gonna do that, add the rolls, and we can do
Yeah,
fiction.
that makes sense.
We see how hard it's gonna be.
That works.
So we're looking for 6 more on hero dice.
Yeah. Now, Heath, are you okay with this? Because you're sort of in charge of this.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll throw it. As a matter of fact, I was thinking it seemed like it makes sense for me to throw in the die since we're sort of the architect of all this, and I could tell you, well, here's the goo I created, River. Here's what we know about the old body. Here's the goo I'm trying to I probably have the most bridged knowledge of the olds and the new systems and
True,
what
yeah.
we're sort of trying to achieve.
Totally makes sense.
And there's a 5.
Ooh,
So-
very close.
Okay, well, Adoron will throw in the last die as the other person with biomantic.
Monet
Yeah,
will
you could probably
got it ready to
fill
accept
in
the
more.
parameters, and Adoron just like has to add like the last like sign off on it.
Well, that also
Yeah.
fits what I was thinking, because I was thinking Adoron still has the most experience with the old body and could probably clarify some things like, well, with the old body, this felt like this, and these connections, and
Yeah. And like Adoron's got a different core around them at this point
Mhm.
because we have the core that was made by Skelly and Monan. So there are adjustments that would need to be made no matter what. Okay, I will roll the last die. Ooh,
oh, here we go.
Nice. Great. It knocks out something that is exactly what you're looking for.
okay. Now I would like to encourage you to throw in some twists that I don't know about
Oh yeah, I could definitely do that.
because it will be a different body and Adoron's going to have to learn new stuff.
Yeah. Great, fantastic. So yeah, I think the last thing we're gonna see is it spitting out something that looks to Adoron very much like his old body.
Interesting.
And we will make our way to Red Bear next time.
Sounds good.
All right.
Cool.
Sounds good to me.
So let's go ahead and do a round of stars and wishes, and we'll go. Well, let's go backwards. Teal first.
So I have a star for autofacs. They are really nice when they work correctly.
They just soak up a lot of hero dice.
Yeah, you know what? That's fine. I really like how you Mark, how you played the astral lizard. That was really interesting. And I also like how you're running the autofac because we were used to sort of talking a lot to the autofac, and this autofac is less opinionated, let's say. And it's a little more like, I'm a factory that makes things.
Yep.
You know. I really enjoyed seeing Phaedra leap into the breach and like the whole process of trying to get into the autofac and communicate with it was cool. And I also appreciate like everybody else. There were times when I wasn't sure what to say when we were talking to the astral lizard, and y'all would step in and say useful things that I would not have thought of that kept the conversation moving and expanded the conversation because I was sort of somewhat narrowly focused on my relationship to the actual rebuilder and stuff. So I really appreciate the teamwork that we've got. I also want to say, Keith, I appreciate that you are always striving to keep everybody aware of respect and consideration for others. Like that's an important part of why this group and sort of gaming thing has evolved into such a nice place because we have a very different way of engaging with the world than most other experiences I've had. As far as wishes go, I I want to explore Adoran's new body, and I want to be surprised, because I think that will be a very interesting challenge for Adoron. And of course, I hope eventually we can deliver a body to the rebuilder, but I know that's a long-term project.
Cool. Thank you. Next up is Heath.
Yeah, very fun as always. Just watching so many always interesting, never, no shortage of interesting twists and turns. Interestingly though, counter to what Teal said, which I appreciate, is also like once we learn all details, part of me is like, as much as we're all about like wanting to believe in the good in everyone and help everybody, there is also part of like, we might just be better off leaving that thing in the machine. I feel bad saying that, but like it does sort of feel like our kindness might bite the world in the ass. It's like we were nice and released the soul eater.
A soul eater.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for releasing the soul eater. You did the world a great service. Other than that, yeah, something I noticed of all of us, no one in particular, that I'm trying to be more aware of now is like keeping this world is so creatively flexible, which is one of the fun things about it. And I feel like all of us sometimes can get one tracked. We're like, we start off spitballing and then we kind of come up with a plan. And then we just sort of proceed forward as if, okay, that's fact now. That's how that's going to work. And it's like, what? We just theorized all this. And like, there's 10 other ways there's 100 other ways this could also work. And so we got to be careful not to get locked into, once we've discussed a track, now it's like, well, that's the track. That's the only way to do this thing. It's like, there's still infinite possibilities, which is what's fun about this group. Because sometimes, well, not sometimes, a lot of times it's like, I'll have an idea of like, oh, maybe we could do that. But then someone else will like throw a total curveball. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a whole other, yeah, okay. And so it's just so interesting because there's one of the things I love about this game and this world is it does seem most of the time just so like, let your imagination run wild and we can come up with 5 different wacky ways we could pursue this thing. So yeah, I'm just trying to keep that in mind of not necessarily trying to always be, even if I've got like an idea of like, oh, here's one way we could do this, it could be interesting, always trying to be open to other possibilities and like, oh, this took this turn. What does that open up? What cool story things does that do now? Wishes. Nothing's coming to mind, so won't force it.
All right, and Mike.
Yeah, stars all around this. This is kind of a different game. Or should say this session was a bit different than a lot of the previous ones, and it was pretty cool. We had access to this like really powerful thing that could like do stuff, and it just, you had to roll really high in order to spit out the thing that you wanted it to do. Piggybacking on some of the stuff that Heath said, that yeah, where like we seem to be on a path to like bring the rebuilder back into the world. I think I the player, I'm not sure that's necessarily a good thing to do for the world. I think Phaedron's a little. I think Phaedron's a little hesitant here, but at the same time, Phaedron is trusting Adoron and hoping that this incredibly powerful demiurge thing isn't like pulling the wool over Adoron's eyes. We'll see how this plays out. Yeah, I'm also curious as to how the thing is going to work back at the village of Red Bear, was it?
Yeah.
Red Bear. As we get their leader into a new body, that's going to be interesting. And from there, I just thought there were some some great role-playing moments, some like really good collaboration, some really good collaborative world building on that we were kind of doing on how this is going to, play out. I just like how this how our collaborative storytelling is just, I just think we're going wild with it, and I think it's really cool. And Mark, star to you for like yes handing us. Well, hey, you could try. Let's see it. Let's see how it goes. Let's bring it to the dice. Um, I mean, I'm primarily a story gamer that has like more than a toe, but less than a foot, less than a whole foot in the OSR scene. And I just think this is a really cool. I mean, I think you know I'm definitely bringing story game techniques into this OSR game, and I think it's working out really well from my perspective. I'm really enjoying it, and I just want to thank everyone for playing along and taking that approach, and kind of like I think we're all yes-anding each other, which is the heart of improv, and I'm just having a ball with this. As for wishes, I think I'd like to. I think wishes two things. One, I think I do want to start. I think the player, and I think also Phaedrid, the character, are both interested in. This exploration was interesting. We found some cool stuff. We didn't find as profitable stuff as I was hoping we would find in going around Three Sticks Lake. I was hoping we'd find more treasure because we're I think we're at the moment I think we're spending more treasure than we're finding right now. So
There are
a
still
wish would be
the globes and birds and stuff if you want to.
yes, there is still the globes and the birds stuff that we could conceivably go for. So that might be something we want to do next time because we are starting to run low on funds. So that is something we can try to do, which would be cool. So yeah, a wish is I'd like to get some more treasure. Um, the other wish is I would like to continue our journey to the west because I would ideally like to make it all the way to the Black City, like before this campaign ends, because I know the campaign does have a hard end date at the end of the year. We are starting to we're starting to approach into the holiday season. I mean, it's early October, but November's going to be here fast. December's going to be here fast. So we've got a limited number of sessions before we may need to cancel games or postpone games because of holidays and like that sort of thing. So I don't think we have a ton more sessions before the end of the year, and I would really like to get to the Black City.
Ooh, Black City. Great. Yeah, I had a good time here. Just rolling with y'all, what y'all are throwing. Like I forget who was like someone didn't want to. You can't mess with plans that I don't have. I have like the barest idea of what's going on, and just kind of making it up as we go along, and it's been turning out great. So I like the questions I think y'all ask really give me a lot to go off of. Like, why is this happening? Like, that's a great question, and let me tell you. And then I just start talking. It worked out pretty well so far. Yeah. Wish. I think I'm really curious to see there's two big endpoints. There's the Black City and there's the Rebuilder coming back. And if we can hit both of those by the end of the campaign, that'd be great. But if we hit either one, I'm happy either way too. So just happy to see where stuff goes. Cool. Anything else before we say goodbye to everyone?
Yeah, I have one comment for the rest of the party. The quote unquote high rolls that we had to make, those are going to be normal rolls as we move forward. Keep that in mind. Like the further west we go, the more rolls. I mean, admittedly, this is pretty high low character, but the more the further west we go, the more we're at least I think that's how it works. Because we're going to be running into more of these situations.
Cool. And with that, we'll say goodbye. Thank you for watching or listening.